it's evening for me, so I'll just say good evening, boys and girls. Um, as you no doubt saw on the title of the video, I screwed up. I screwed up big time. So let me explain for those of you that are brand new or just tuning in. All right, so about a month ago, I had reached the heaviest that I've ever been. Story time. And it was right after I actually won my last super match. The next day and the day after, I weighed myself and I was 270. And I was like, nah, this can't be. No more. Can't do it. So I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to lose it quick. And, I set a timeline because there's a tournament coming up on January 14th. And I want to make that tournament. And I want to pull 225 instead of super heavyweight. I would much rather there be a 242 weight class, but there isn't, and I get the reason why. But it is what it is, right? So anyway, for the last it's actually been about 5 weeks. For the last 4 weeks, I've been losing an average of 4 to 5 pounds a week. And in this past week, I plateaued at 250 to 249. It's literally been within a pound, 249 and a half to 250 and a half. And, my last video, I kind of mentioned that. And one of my new subscribers, Ryan Dunwoody, who's an arm wrestler, I believe in North Carolina, could be in South Carolina, but one of the Carolinas, saw it. And he kind of refreshed my brain about something I had forgotten and stupidly had done. It's a mistake, basically, which is cutting calories too fast, too quick, too fast. And I work out with arm wrestling, but not a crap ton. Now I do. I'm on an actual program. But before then, I was in a real bad mental spot, okay? It's just stress. Everybody goes through stress, but I wasn't dealing with it correctly or well. And basically I just, was sitting around all day and eating. I was doing whatever training I needed to feel strong, but I was sitting around and eating. Anyway, so I went straight from that to eating nothing but clean foods, no sugars, no carbs. Well, very, very low carbs and very, very low sugars. Obviously, every food or some foods have some sugars in them, but I'm talking like minimal of carbs and sugars. I ditched breads, cereals, rices, grains, any type of sodas, any of that. I ditched all of it. I was eating basically steak, fish, chicken, eggs. I would have a keto shake once a day that had collagen support in it, and I would have 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. On top of all of that, I would have some vegetables as well. But on top of all of that, I was intermittent fasting for 20 hours a day. Well, after talking to Ryan on one of the comment sections of my last video, I went back and looked at the video that he talked about, which is Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com. And I had started doing a whole bunch of research, and it's like a light bulb went off. Because like today, for instance, let me give you exactly what happened today, okay? So I broke my fast at 1 o'clock instead of 2. So that means I was fasted for 19 hours, okay? Broke my fast at 1 o'clock, had 2 tablespoons of peanut butter on a keto-friendly wrap. So the calories for that was, if I remember correctly, it would be 260. Yeah, 260 calories. So that was my first meal, was 260. Then about 2 hours later, or about an hour and a half later, I had a salad for about 200 calories. So now I'm 2 meals in, and I've got 460 calories in. Now you add in the, my little drink packets that have, I think, 10 calories per. I've had like 3 bottles of water with the little drink packets, so maybe another 30 calories. Let's just call it 500 calories. That's what I was sitting at in the middle of the day, in the middle of my food window. And my wife made this amazing dinner, and she was gonna make it with like pure vegetables. Actually, she didn't know what side she was gonna make, whether it be asparagus or spinach or what, but she's gonna make it with pure vegetables. Well, in between the second meal and the third meal, I had kind of done all the research, figured out where I was, and I said, look, I'm putting myself into starvation, and I didn't realize that I was. And so yeah, I lost a lot of weight quickly, and then my body was like, oh shit, we're dying, because it doesn't know. It just knows that it's not getting anywhere near the calories it's supposed to. So it stores all the calories, and basically you lose a whole bunch of weight really quick, that 20 to 21 pounds that I lost really, really quickly. And then after that, it's like, okay, that's as far as we're going to let you go. Now, I probably will lose 1 to 2 pounds a week at this deficit, if I'm lucky. But the correct way to do it is, for instance, the maintenance calories from my weight. I'm 250 right now. The maintenance calories from my weight and my activity level is somewhere around the neighborhood of 3,000 to 3,200 calories. Okay, that's with light to moderate exercise, 250 pounds, male, 43 years old. Okay, because I lift some sort of weights 6 days a week, and I do cardio 7 days a week. So I'm at the high end of light and the low end of moderate. And so that would put anywhere between 3,000 and 3,200 calories a day. That's maintenance. That's to keep 250. So with a 500 calorie deficit, let's just say 2,500. That's where I should be. I'm averaging, even with today's dinner, and today's dinner was, I even added carbs for today's dinner, which I haven't done in 5 weeks. Today's dinner was duck with an all-natural orange glaze that my wife had made, and then she made stuff like loaded potatoes. So, you scoop out the center. So it's a potato, that's a single ingredient, cheddar cheese, another single ingredient, bacon bits, and green onions. I did the math on all of that. And even with having, I think it was 3 of those tater skins, or loaded potatoes, because, it isn't the mashed put back in, it's just the scooped out potato with cheddar and bacon. Even with all of that, I came out to about 1,445 calories. That's with my shake, MCT oil, all of my drinks added up, and all 3 meals. 1,445 calories. And today I felt like I ate more than I had in the last 4 days. So there's the problem. I'm probably averaging somewhere around 12 to 1,500 calories a day, with the big days being maybe somewhere around 17 to 1,800 calories. That is a massive deficit from where I'm supposed to be. So it's basically putting my body into survival mode or starvation mode. Okay, so there's the mistake. I fucked up my metabolism, and you just have to swallow the pill. You screwed up. I screwed up. So I'm not going to be able to make 225 by January 14th. Does this mean that I'm done with dieting, or done with this lifestyle change, or done with anything? No. What it means is I'm going to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate. It means that there probably will be a setback or two coming up, because what has to happen is I have to actually start raising my calories to start getting towards that 2,500, so that my body can say, okay, we're getting food now. You're still in a deficit for what you need for maintenance, your basic metabolic rate, but you're getting enough calories that we can start burning fat. So I'm not going to change my exercise. If anything, I'm actually going to up my exercise a little bit, but I'm going to have to up my calorie intake as well to try to reset my metabolism. So that means that I'm probably going to gain a little bit of weight back in the meantime. And then it'll start coming back off. Now, for all of you out there that might be going along the same journey, you want to know what the cheat code is? Honestly, there is a cheat code. The cheat code is, for 6 to 8 months, whatever it is, eat clean, eat a lot, and work your ass off. Work out, heavy weights, build muscle. Build as much muscle as you possibly can on your frame. because the more muscle that you have, and I'm talking big muscles, do compound workouts, your bench presses, your deadlifts, your squats, your bent over rows, engage as much of your body in one exercise as you possibly can. Build as much muscle as you possibly can in that amount of time, which obviously you're going to have some fat gain as well in that time. That's fine. But do it as cleanly as possible. And then you start reducing your calories, keeping eating clean, keeping working out, and you'll start to basically chisel down into that new muscle, getting all the fat away from the muscle. But the biggest reason why it's a cheat code is because muscle burns fat at a higher rate than cardio, than working out, than anything. Muscle by itself needs a crap ton of calories to fuel itself. So it will burn fat, it will burn carbs, it will burn whatever it needs to do in order to keep itself going. Muscle, that is. So the more muscle you have, the easier it is to burn fat. Okay? So what I'm going to do, my next steps forward, right? Okay, so we already know that there's no way I'm going to make 225 by January 14th. So what I'm going to do is slowly creep my calories back up towards the 2,500 range minimum, 25 to 2,700 range. I'm going to continue working out the way I have been, if not more, with heavier weights. Now I can't really do that here. So I can increase my volume here, but I can't really do the heavy weights because I just don't have the equipment. My barbell can't handle more than, I would say, 135, 140 tops for like a bench press, which is not exactly where I should be pushing, but it'll have to work, right? You got to make do with what you got. My arm wrestling training will remain the same. The program's working. I'm going to continue working the program. As far as my dietary thing goes, instead of fasting for 20 hours, I'm probably going to be fasting for more like 16, which is going to give me an 8-hour window. Does that mean that I'm just going to start eating, ice cream and donuts and cakes and all that? No. Even though right now I'd kill somebody for a donut, but no. I'm still staying away from the sweets. I'm still going to stay away from all of that. But it does mean that I am going to introduce clean carbs back into my diet, like baked potatoes, roasted potatoes, potatoes. That's one key thing. I may start having like fruit smoothies. A fruit smoothie by itself, if you have enough fruit in it, can be 800 to 1,200 calories. Now I know everybody says don't have calories with your drinks, but it doesn't. It's not. That's just. It's not about me being hungry, because yeah, I have slight hunger pains like before bed and like 2 hours after I wake up. But my problem is right now that I'm not fitting enough calories into my actual window. So if I have that smoothie, it will actually help get my caloric intake to where it needs to be. I'll get tons of vitamins and minerals with those fruits. It's good sugar and good carbs that are in that fruit. That's just one example. So single ingredient foods is the key. Okay. So like if you look at Hot Pockets, the list of ingredients is that freaking long. Even on bread, the list of ingredients is that long. So I'm going to be staying away from breads and cereals and all of that, but like pasta every now and again won't be a big deal. Homemade pizza with actual homemade ingredients, single ingredients put into a pizza, that will be fine every now and again. Potatoes every now and again will be fine. Even French fries, because I'm taking a potato and I'm making a French fry out of it. That's fine. It's single ingredient foods. So again, carbohydrates will be entered back in a limited fashion. My macros are going to be right around 40% protein, 40% carbs. I'm sorry, 40% protein, 40% fat, and 20% carbs. So it's still going to be a low carb diet, but I'm going from maybe 30 to 35 grams of carbs a day to about 130 grams of carbs a day. So there's that. I'm probably going from about 150 or 125 grams of protein and maybe 100 grams of fat to trying to push those numbers up above 200 to get my caloric intake to where it needs to be. Basically, I have to reset my metabolism and then start over. That's fine. At least I got it now. I've been stagnant for a week. There's no doubt that I've put myself into starvation mode or survival mode. So learn from my mistakes. All of you out there that might be dieting, don't go on a crash diet, but it's okay. It's not going to break me. I identified the problem, and I'm going to come back stronger, and I'm going to do it right. And when I do get down to a good weight, a healthy weight, I probably will do that bulk where, I eat more, and I do it cleanly, but I eat more in order to, and I work out harder in order to bulk up as much as I can as far as muscle. And then I'll come back down. Almost like what bodybuilders do. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I know they do a bulk and then a cut and a bulk and a cut. Almost like that. Because what I want to do, I mean, you look at somebody like Devin Larratt or Monster Michael Todd or anything like that. I mean, they can bounce from 270, 280 down to 230, down to 250. You know what I mean? Like anywhere they want within 40 to 50 pounds, they can go. And that's amazing. But it's because they have so much muscle on their frame already that they can do this, And I'm sure they have really fast metabolisms, but they also know how to cut. Like Devin will get his cut started with a fast. Michael still eats a lot of garbage food, but the macros are fantastic on that food. And he has a lot of supplements. And I know before anybody gets into the whole steroids thing and all, I don't give a shit. And steroids don't really help with your appetite unless you're on, I think, one or two specific ones. And I don't even want to get into it. It can be done naturally as far as the cutting and the bulking. It's the strength gains on steroids that give everybody fits, and I understand that. So that's where I'm at. I've got to raise my calories back up to a healthy level with healthy food, and then start the cut from there. Well, actually, where I raise it to will already be in a deficit, so I'll still probably be losing weight here and there. Like it'll probably stay pretty much stagnant for a little while. I may gain a little bit and then come back down. My goal now is to treat this tournament as if it was a 242 weight class. So my goal is to come in anywhere between 240 and 245 to this tournament, but healthier than I am now, stronger than I am now. So that's it. I fucked up. I made a mistake. I put my body into a survival mode, quote unquote. At least that's what I think I did. All the evidence is pointing that way. I mean, like I said, today I felt like I ate a lot and I was only at 1,445 calories. So I actually did scramble. I got some blueberries and what else? I had another tater skin. So, I mean, I didn't want to go crazy, but I jacked that up to around, by the time I was done, I jacked it up to around 1,650, 1,700. That made me feel a little bit better. Tomorrow, with extending the window, I'm going to try to, get a jump. Maybe I'll double up my shakes. It'll be 180 calories instead of 90, stuff like that. Little jumps to get up to where I need to get to, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I rambled on long enough. Now you guys know where I'm at. I still feel good. I'm still relatively healthy. Mentally, yeah, this sucks, but at least I have a handle on what's going on. So I'm moving forward with a positive attitude. And, we're going to do this the right way. And before you know it, I'm going to be 200 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. And then from there, I want to bulk up to about 225, 230 and be able to cut for a 225 anytime. That's what I want to be able to do. I want to walk around at 230 and be able to cut down to 225 with no problem, pull at 225 or 220. And, that's where I want to kind of live. And I say that full well knowing that the 220 pound weight class, the 198s and the 220s, for me, have far scarier opponents than like the bottom of the list for the 240, the super heavies. I don't know. It's just like you got guys like Nick Johnson, Dunwoody, Moody, Bianchi, Ryan Belanger. I just learned how to pronounce his name correctly. You got some animals in that class that I don't even know if I could ever touch, but I'm gonna live there and I'm gonna do the best I can at that weight. That's my goal. Anyway, so yeah, I'll keep you guys along with me on my road and what I do for my progressive overload. I'm still gonna peak for the tournament. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get there around 240, 245, hopefully 240. That's where I'd like to be, and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for all the new subscribers and the likes and all of that. Feel free to comment on the videos. And I'm not just doing this on my own. I have consulted several people. And Ryan Dunwoody, if you're watching this one, which I think you will be, thank you. Thank you for kind of reminding me of what I already forgot and getting my head wrapped around what was going on, because my head was starting to get in a pretty dark spot after plateauing for a week. But I already feel better now that I had a little bit of carbs. My body actually feels a lot better. And my veins started popping, which is amazing. But, just resting. But anyway, thank you guys. Take it easy. Have a good one.